3 minutes past 8 a.m. Ibadan, you're listening to Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station, 10th day of June 2021. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. We totally appreciate it. We're broadcasting live, of course, from Ibadan, Felele to be precise. My name is Charity Jerome. Welcome to Thursday mornings Beyond the Surface. Yeah, that was a mouthful. I agree. I hope that you're doing good. The morning is still very young. The day is just getting started. I know people who are still in bed at this time. And I also know people who are already hustling out on the streets, getting their grind on. However you choose to start your day, though, I hope that you have a prosperous day, a good one, and that all your hustle pays, especially the legal hustle, those who hustle the good hustle, yeah? Today on Beyond the Surface, we will be continuing the conversation around banning social media platforms. The conversation around Twitter has gone on for days, almost getting into a week since that tweet was deleted and what followed. But now we're getting feelers that this might go beyond just the Twitter ban. I'm talking about the Minister of Information and Culture giving out certain guidelines that social media platforms have to take if they wish to continue operating in Nigeria. The federal government says all social media platforms, and these include Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and others, must register within Nigeria. This is according to the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, and he says it's part of moves to regulate social media platforms. Mr. Mohammed said this on Wednesday in Abuja while he was briefing journalists after the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting. Some of what he said are as follows. What we are saying is that all platforms, you must register in Nigeria. You must be a corporate entity before you can do business in Nigeria. Whether it is Netflix, Iroko, or Facebook, they are all doing business in Nigeria, making money, and they are not paying taxes. This is in addition to being able to regulate them. They are making billions of naira out of this country, and they are not paying tax. That can't be allowed to go on. End of quote. The minister went on to list the conditions for the platforms to be registered. He says the conditions are that for those platforms to do business in Nigeria, they must register as Nigerian companies. They must be licensed, and they would have to refrain from using the platform for activities that are inimical to the growth of Nigeria. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of power that the federal government is giving to itself. And I say this because some parts of last year, a lot of the conversations that were had on the radio and on other media platforms was the discussions around the social media bill. And if you recall, there were huge oppositions to that bill. Mainly because people thought, Nigerians believed that with a social media bill, there was going to be strong censorship of not just what or who's able to go online or on social media, but the content that is put out there. And that bill was supposed to be the anchor through which the federal government could control the social media, whether Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. As we know it today, Nigeria does not have a social media bill. Considerations on that bill were suspended. They have not resumed. And if based on that bill, the government was going to have power, now the bill is not in existence. Does the federal government still have such powers to control whether it's Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, or any other social media in the ways that they are saying that they would, especially considering how our laws, the constitution on business generally, are presently constituted. That's the crux of the conversation this morning. That's what I will be speaking to my guest, Barrister Richamond O. Nata Alade, who will be joining me over the phone this morning to discuss how much power the federal government actually has in controlling these social media platforms, considering that the social media bill, which would have given them such powers, is not yet in existence. But I also would want you to know, in case you haven't heard, that there's a little bit of a confusion. I am a little confused, if I'm being honest, because it was in the news yesterday that a minority caucus in the National Assembly is urging Nigerians to disregard the Twitter ban and continue tweeting. These are lawmakers, or some lawmakers. They are the ones involved in putting laws together that Nigerians follow, laws that are passed into the Constitution. And then, of course, we know that the Constitution is what binds us and dictates what we can do and what we can't do. So I'm thinking, this is a little confusing. Which way should I tilt? But in case you missed out on the story, this is how it's been reported. So, Joint Minority Caucus of the Senate and the House of Representatives and the House of Representatives has asked Nigerians to ignore the Twitter ban and keep tweeting. They said this in a statement they put out just yesterday. The lawmakers condemned the federal government's decision to indefinitely ban the operations of Twitter in Nigeria, an act they say that is unconstitutional. I'm having issues with continuing with that story. I'm hoping that I can resolve that as soon as possible. But I mean, you have this caucus, even though minority, asking Nigerians to disregard an order that was given by the federal government. Recall that the Minister of what's it called now, Attorney General and the Minister of Justice had said that those who continued to tweet would be persecuted, regardless whether they were high-ranking Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians or not, as long as it was established that they had continued to tweet after the order banning Twitter in Nigeria, they stood a chance to be persecuted. Lawmakers are saying disregard this and continue tweeting. It's a little confusing, you would agree, yeah? I mean, for some people, they've not been bothered about this because they are not on Twitter, so they can't understand what this whole brouhaha is about. But if what the federal government is saying is anything to go by, then very soon we're going to be talking about regulating places like WhatsApp. I know a lot of people, elderly people, young people who are on WhatsApp. Same for Facebook. So, would you be more interested if it affected a social media platform that you're very engaged in using? By the way, let me go back to that story I was reading to you about the lawmakers urging Nigerians to disregard the federal government's decision to indefinitely ban the operations of Twitter in Nigeria. They said that the act was draconian and unacceptable. The Joint Minority Caucus also dismissed threats by the government to arrest and prosecute Nigerians using Twitter. It called on Nigerians to go ahead and use their Twitter, as they would not be contravening any law in Nigeria or any international statute. Now you see why I said this can be confusing. And I'm hoping that the conversation with the lawyer this morning would provide some insight and clarify for us what the real situations are. Using the Constitution, of course, as our anchor, because that is what we live by as a country. That is what dictates, as I said earlier, what we do and what we do not do, and even how we do what we do. So, based on our Constitution as it stands today, the 10th of June 2021, does the government have the power to control Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, or any other social media platform. Are the lawmakers correct in saying that there is no law that you will be contravening if you decided to go ahead to use your Twitter handle regardless of the order by the government? Or would you be committing a crime? These are some of the questions Nigerians want answers to, and I hope that this morning we can get some of those answers. When I come back, before I have my guest on the line, I'll tell you about SERAP and the step that they have taken. They are suing the federal government, not in a Nigerian court, because as I understand, the time that that suit was instituted, JUSUN was still on strike. They took the Nigerian government to the ECOWAS court. I've got details of that and I'll be sharing in just a moment. Let's take a commercial break. We'll be back shortly.
Splash FM 105.5.
ShopRite's Big Red Carnival is back. And this year, we're big on low prices, big on savings, with great deals on products like 12 Coke Fanta Sprite 500ml PET bottles at 1,099 Naira 99 Kobo. And buy 1 350-gram Kellogg's Cornflakes at 799 Naira 99 Kobo. And you get one free. Price is valid to the 13th of June 2021.
Plus, you could stand to win 50% off your grocery shopping. Simply buy 3 participating products to qualify with ShopRite's Big Red Carnival. T's and C's apply.
Valid until the 11th of July 2021. ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust always.
Captain.
Yes, coach.
Shebi you sabi say if this our school go follow carry shoulder for people wey sabi, we must win this match.
Yes, coach.
No forget say 1, the time to win as they blow whistle to start the match. 2, no forget to protect your net every time.
Yes, coach.
Yes, so my correct champion.
Okay, champ. Make you go eat. Make you bath. So that you go fit sleep well, you hear?
Papa, you don't forget the net, oh.
Aha! Oya, tell us, how we go take 4 malaria hand?
All of us must sleep inside net every night. And when we know they use the net, now to arrange them well, keep one side.
Better pikin.
Our champion, we sabi every.
Papa, make you no forget you and mama net, oh.
The mosquitoes where they carry malaria, now for night them they bite. If everybody sleep inside net, mosquitoes no go bite anybody and malaria no go worry anybody. This message, now the Federal Ministry of Health and support from American people carry and come.
What do you need na safeguard?
Children that like to play.
Them like to play.
Small pigs that must jolly oh.
Them like to jolly oh.
But remember one thing, protect them with safeguard soap. Protect them with safeguard. Protect them with safeguard soap. From the teen and yama, so the future go better.
Safeguard antibacterial soap. They come out every yama for body. It also they available for 50-gram size.
Dúró sórí àlà gbáradì ó ti yá bẹ̀rẹ̀ oṣù tuntun pẹ̀lú soccer ready promo tó kà màmá pẹ̀lú Samsung ra èyíkéyìí Galaxy S21 olóríṣiríṣi kó o sì gba buds live kan wàá tún gba Bluetooth headset lórí gbogbo Galaxy A32 àti àpò alágbèékẹ́yìn backpack tó bá ra A12 àwọn àǹfààní tó kà màmá wà tó bá ra Galaxy A02 náà ìfilọ́lẹ̀ yìí bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọjọ́ 4 oṣù kẹfà di ọjọ́ 2 oṣù kejì ọdún 2021 tààrà ṣàṣà àǹfààní yìí wà títí ọjà ó fi tán lẹ̀ àdéhùn àti àsọtẹ́lẹ̀ ń bẹ o.
Àti kékeré lọmọ mi ti ní ìran láti di ìlú mọ̀ká. Ojúṣe mi sì ni láti ràn lọ́wọ́ kí ìran rẹ̀ wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Ìdí nìyí tí ó di àjẹsára rẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ dúró digbí kó lè gbé àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ títí tẹ́sẹ̀ rẹ̀ yóò fi múlẹ̀.
Ìràwọ̀ òṣèré wa tó kàn ní oníjó ballerino.
Mo ń fún ọmọ mi ní Vita lójoojúmọ́ tó ní iron, zinc àti vitamin C tó sì ran odi àjẹsára rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ tó tún fún un ní okun láti mú kí ìran rẹ̀ wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Bone Vita, okun láti ní ìran.
What is this? I thought I asked all of you to drop whatever you have outside here.
I'm sorry, sir. This is Fluco Day. I saw you coughing earlier, so I brought it out for you so you can take it.
Thanks for your kindness, but I'm smarter than that. You think I don't know that every drug that cures cough and catarrh causes drowsiness? So you want me to sleep, Abi?
This is what distinguishes Flucode. It does not cause drowsiness.
Na draw. I know this draw. It work well, no.
Let me try it. Manufactured by Corvit.
Marketed and distributed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult your doctor.
Time up. And you, I said what? Flucode.
Available in pharmacy shops near you.
The place and it brighten. Make everybody they wonder. Waiting make us all the shine. Lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair. So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush, yeah. Wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush, yeah, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush, yeah, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
láti ní ojúlówó mọ̀ tó nílò tó fi darapọ̀ mọ́ṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tó sì dákọ́ṣẹ́ mọṣẹ́ tí mùṣemúṣe dámúṣẹ́ yàtọ̀. Splash FM Media Academy ti pèsè ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó gàgàǹgbá fún gbogbo ẹni tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ láti dojúlówó agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tàbí ẹni tó fẹ́ fìmọ̀ kúmọ̀ nídìí iṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tẹ́sí gbàwé ẹ̀rí mo yege. Àwọn ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ Splash FM Media Academy dá lórí Introduction to Presentation, Program and Content Development, Journalism, Basic Production, Digital Media, Yorùbá Presentation, tó ń ti ìtọ́sọ́nà lórí ìṣẹ́yọni pẹ̀lú àwọn gbajúgbajà agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́. Fún ìforúkọsílẹ̀ àti ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ lọ sí Splash FM Media Academy tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ White House Fẹ́lẹ́lẹ̀ Ìbàdàn tàbí kẹ́ ẹ kàn sójú òpó ìtàkùn àgbáyé wa pẹ̀lú www.splashfm1055.com/academy 0705-439-3332 tàbí 0805-699-8676. ẹ sì lè kàn sórí Facebook àti Instagram wa @Splash FM Media Academy. Mú àlá rẹ ṣẹ láti dojúlówó agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ lónìí. Splash FM Media Academy. À ń fọmọlúwàbí ṣe iṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ lọ́jọ́.
Chinedu! Don't worry, Ma. He'll be home on time, just like his dad.
Are you sure?
Yes, Ma. I'm cooking their favorite jollof with Sonia tomato mix. They are here.
Hey, is the jollof ready?
See? Right on time.
Your loved ones will always rush home for tasty meals prepared with Sonia tomato mix.
Mommy, the jollof is yummy.
I wouldn't miss this jollof for anything.
It's so good eating together with a family.
Yes, Ma. All thanks to Sonia.
Sonia tomato mix brings you together. Proudly Nigerian.
Splash FM.
Try Ariel. Now your clothes will be cleaner than they've ever been. Ariel is worth it. Well, Ariel is worth it. One wash removes 99.9% germs and eliminates tough stains. Well, Ariel is worth it. Oh, yeah, protect your clothes and your family too. You know how much that's worth to you. Yeah. Ariel is worth it. Well, Ariel.
Splash FM 105.5.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on Splash 105.5 FM Beyond the Surface for Thursday morning. And we're talking about federal government's move to regulate social media, not just Twitter, but all the other social media platforms, as was announced by the Minister of Information and Culture yesterday while he was briefing journalists. Just to remind you, and for those who do not yet know, we're streaming live on Facebook. Splash FM is live on Facebook, and you can join the stream, drop a comment, and be a part of that activity on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Splash FM 1055. All right, we'll be looking forward to read a comment from you. And remember to also share. And before the break, I was going to tell you about Serap and the suit that he has against the federal government at the ECOWAS court. So here it is. Civil society organization, the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, Serap, and 176 other concerned Nigerians have filed a lawsuit against the regime of President Muhammadu Buhari at the ECOWAS Community Court of Justice in Abuja over the government's suspension of microblogging platform Twitter. Serap also argued that the suspension of Twitter is aimed at intimidating and stopping Nigerians from using Twitter and other social media platforms to assess government policies, expose corruption, and criticize acts of official impunity by the agents of the federal government. Now, in that suit, Serap and the concerned Nigerians are seeking an order of interim injunction restricting the federal government from implementing its suspension of Twitter in Nigeria and subjecting anyone, including media houses, broadcast stations, who use Twitter in Nigeria to harassment, intimidation, arrest, and criminal prosecution, pending the hearing and determination of the substantive suit. The plaintiffs are also contending that the application is, if the application is urgently granted, if the application is not urgently granted, the federal government will continue to arbitrarily suspend Twitter and threaten to impose criminal and other sanctions on Nigerians, telecommunications companies, media houses, broadcast stations, and other people using Twitter in Nigeria. The perpetual order sought in that suit said. So it goes on and on, but the crux of the matter is the case is at the ECOWAS court. Does the ECOWAS court have jurisdiction over Nigeria? Yes, it does have jurisdiction for countries that signed the charter. Can't say which one right now, but it is within jurisdiction. So yes, the ECOWAS court can hear this matter. How's this going to go? Of course, we know how legal matters go. There's a time issue. There's then the issue of even accepting the ruling, however it goes, yeah. But this is just pending. We're yet to see how this plays out. On the government side, they are still insisting that what they're doing is in order to save Nigeria. As a matter of fact, yesterday, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, seemed excited to announce that Donald Trump, former president of the US, congratulated Nigeria on banning Twitter. Now, recall that Donald Trump has been suspended indefinitely, both on Twitter and Facebook. So if you're looking for a man with a grudge, you'll be right to say Donald Trump has a grudge against those social media platforms. And Lai Mohammed thinks is something that Donald Trump is congratulating us for banning. He says it was something that he should have done while he was president. But then again, you and I know that an action like this couldn't have been taken in America, at least not unilaterally. So I'm going to have my guest on the line this morning, and let's talk about these sweeping powers that the federal government says it has to regulate social media platforms. These platforms that are basically websites. We are the one who have chosen to subscribe to their website. Can you categorize such websites then as companies doing business in Nigeria? Do we have laws in our constitution as presently constituted that guarantees the government abilities to ask these companies to register in Nigeria for them to continue doing businesses? Good morning, Barrister. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Chacha.
Nice to have you here. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Hope you're enjoying your Thursday morning.
Quite well.
Okay. Now, for those who didn't hear me earlier, my guest today is Barrister Richamond O. Neta Alade. He's a lawyer, and he's going to be giving us insight. Now, Barrister, my first question to you, I'm sure you've been following the commentary before now. Tell us, if you will, can the federal government unilaterally ban other social media platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram?
Well, first and foremost, we must first look at the framework, the legal framework that set up the country Nigeria, which is the Constitution of Nigeria. And I must say that by provision of Section 39 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, every Nigerian have rights which is guaranteed to freedom of expression, including right to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas, either orally or in writing, or in print, or in any form of art, or through any form of communication, including across all frontiers. And social media is well captured, may not be specifically mentioned, but is well captured in the description of what constitutes freedom of expression. That is, you can share information, you can receive information, you can impart ideas. And outside that, we are in a democratic setting, and either we like it or not, the government is accountable to the people. And if government is accountable to the people, the platform by which people question the authority of government ought to be intact, and is supposed not to be trampled upon. And if there is at all any infraction or any abuse, there are laws that are in place that put some of all these things under check. So normally, the Constitution guarantees the freedom of expression and the press, including freedom to communicate ideas and to share information. So in answering your question as to if the government has the power to ban, well, the Constitution does not operate in isolation. And I must tell you as well that under that same Constitution, Section 45, there are derogations as to the powers and as to the rights that are contained in Chapter 4 of the Constitution. And what are the derogations? The derogation simply says that nothing in Section 37, Section 38, Section 39, Section 40, Section 41 of this Constitution shall affect any law that is validly made in the interest of public order, public safety, public morality, public health, and so on, or for the purpose of protecting the rights of others. Now, do Nigeria as a country have a right? That is the question that comes to mind. If Nigeria as a country has a right, then that right can be protected as well. And if there is any threat to corporate existence of Nigeria or that threatens the existence of Nigeria, then it is the duty of the president and anybody in government to defend that territorial integrity. That is why the anathema is. You see, both the somehow way is either here or there. So by the judgment of the federal government of Nigeria, they said Twitter is being used as a platform to cause disaffection, hatred, and breed criminality, as well as strife within the people of the entity of Nigeria. And based on that, they said they are placing the ban. But all the same, I would say that by the provisions of the Company and Alliance Matters Act 2020, there is a provision for foreign direct investments that authorizes every person that are gaining or making money in Nigeria as a foreigner to register.
Okay, Barrister, let's just hold it on there and let me get a clear answer. Are you saying that the federal government does have the right to ban? I need to have a clear answer so I can know how to proceed with my line of questioning.
Yes, they don't have, you see, this thing has to be diplomatic. The unilateral ban is not too good at this time.
It's not about it being good. Do they have the powers based on the Constitution to carry it out?
Well, if the conduct of the persons affected threatens the corporate existence of Nigeria, the presidents have that right to defend the territorial integrity of Nigeria.
Absolutely.
So
I like that you've gotten there now. You were just going to mention the Companies and Allied Matters Act, which was promulgated a few months back. Now, let me bring your mind, however, to what the minister said. He cited that these companies, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, these companies are doing business in Nigeria, and hence they are under the control of government. But my question is that really the case, considering that these companies are mostly sites that Nigerians subscribe to voluntarily? So is there anything in our laws as presently constituted that gives the government sweeping powers over sites such as this? Because at the end of the day, that is what they are, sites. There's no, they're not a business location. They're not like I don't want to call any brand, but you know what I mean. Companies that come here, set up, get employees, have people working. These sites are not like these other companies. You and I wanted to be on Twitter. It's the reason you and I went online and subscribed to Twitter's platform.
Well, your question is in two phases. I must say that automatically, if under the Company and Allied Matters Act, the fact that you have come, you don't have to be in Nigeria for you to have business in Nigeria. If you are making money from Nigeria and you are a foreigner, automatically your business can be regulated. Either it threatens the territorial integrity or not. Naturally, if you are making money from the people of Nigeria, we know that Nigerians, yes, are subscribers to the platform under which is provided by Twitter. But at the same time, there are about 40 billion subscribers or people who activated Twitter from Nigeria. Then automatically, somehow, some way, in their annual returns, either we like it or not, Twitter is making billions of dollars from Nigeria markets. So if it's making billions of dollars from Nigeria markets, and at the same time is doing things that influences or affects Nigerians, somehow, some way, I believe that they ordinarily can be asked to register and at least pay taxes in Nigeria.
The sole reason why we're trying to put together a social media bill is to be able to control social media, and we do not have that bill, which means we do not have a social media law. If we do not have that, on what basis, under what existing laws does the government have to control social media? That would mean that we didn't even need the social media bill in the first place. Is that what you're saying? That we already have laws that can regulate social media, and hence there is no need for the social media bill in itself?
Well, I must say that there is too much laws in this country. What matters is enforcement and adherence to those laws. I must say that the social media bill is unnecessary at this time. It is unnecessary, absolutely unnecessary. And why do I say this? You know, we have the Cybercrimes Act already that was promulgated and signed by Goodluck Jonathan in 2015. And that law covers anything that has to do with any crime or anything that can be perpetrated through the use of social media, through the use of internet. If that is that, I think if I can recall, section 21 specifically provided for what constitutes cyber stalking. You see, it's not enough to just dump anything on the internet. That is why everybody will be liable or responsible for whatsoever misconduct or whatsoever I put down there on the internet. And there are laws to that effect. By Section 21 of the Cybercrimes Act, it empowers the government. Section 24, sorry, I can recall now. Section 24 empowers the government to prosecute anybody who peddles fake news, who share obscene or pornographic material, who does things, who incites or who give comments that incite ethnic strife, tribalism, religious, or that can incite religious war. Because this is the major problem of Nigeria. The law is already there, but what matters is enforcement. It's quite unfortunate also that the government abused part of this law to also limit the press freedom and to also trample on the right of freedom of Nigerians to express themselves. Because not all information that are shared that are scandalous or that are evil, that are not correct. Once the information are correct, somehow, some way, the citizen or whoever is sharing it is protected. Right. It's only when it amounts to falsehood or it's meant to defame another, or it's meant to, that is when the right of another person or the right of the country comes in.
Right.
So I must say that the social media bill at this time is highly unnecessary.
Okay.
And the issue of passing it, I don't think is highly needed for now.
Let me ask you this though. Some lawmakers have told Nigerians to disregard the ban and carry on tweeting. And I'm wondering, who should Nigerians listen to based on our laws and what they presently guarantee us? Should they listen to the Minister of Information and Culture and his counterpart from the Ministry of Justice, or should they listen to their lawmakers in this regard?
I must say that the lawmakers are only lawmakers. Whatever they do in the parliament is what affects Nigeria as a law, not as a directive.
So shouldn't they know better based on that?
If they are saying that, then they should show us the part of the Constitution that says that the president of the country cannot defend the territorial integrity of the country. Or when he sees anything that threatens the corporate social existence of the country, that he cannot act. That is in line with the provision of the Constitution. If the president sees danger, he can protect the territorial integrity of the corporate existence of Nigeria.
So you consider social media to be that kind of danger? Is that what you're saying? Social media is that kind of danger that threatens our territorial integrity?
It's not in it, but the interference of foreign bodies. You see, when there are foreign bodies or foreign elements who are fomenting tribes, who are...
But foreign bodies are not the ones tweeting now, Barrister. Nigerians are the ones tweeting. Nigerians are the ones raising these issues. The foreign body just made the platform available.
I must say that either we like it or not, the activities of those foreign bodies who offer that platform is also very, very important. If there are tweets from Nnamdi Kanu, I must say, with all due respect, if there are tweets from people like Fani Kayode, if there are tweets from people who are always threatening dangers and harm that were not deleted, if at this time the president now says that people fomenting trouble in this country, we should remember that there is a civil war that claims lives, and we should be careful that people who are fomenting trouble, who are young then or not yet born, should not allow that thing to happen again. I don't think why that should be removed. With all due respect, I don't see why Twitter should go ahead and remove such posts. Because whether we like it or not, we are threatening criminals. That criminals, we cannot allow you to continue this activity because it can lead to civil war. The president has every moral right to do that on the social media. So if you can allow people that are saying they will burn down the country, they will do this, they will do that, they will hire bomb and everything, and they put it on your social media and you allow them, and the country down now, and the country president. And I must tell you that the president of the country is not an ordinary citizen. He represents Nigeria, he represents every one of us, either we like it or not. And his activities either is undermined or is enhanced, has a toll effect on every person within the entity called Nigeria.
All right, Barrister.
So if anything they rub on him, they rub on the entire
every
Nigeria.
One of us.
And for me, what I see personally to the tweet of Mr. President, I don't see anything wrong in that.
Okay.
It's like threatening any other criminal that don't do it. If you do it, we will meet you.
We'll deal with you.
Yes,
absolutely.
Of course.
Barrister, we have to leave the conversation here. Thank you so much for sparing the time to talk to us, Barrister Richamond Oneta Alade. It was a pleasure. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you. All right. So I was hoping that I would open up the phone lines and ask you who you would go with, the federal government or the lawmakers. Unfortunately, I do not have the time to do that as I have to switch to something else in the remaining 4 minutes that I have. So I've got my colleague and boss, K Boogie. He's surprised that I called him my boss. Good morning, K Boogie. Welcome to the show.
Good to have you on the show.
Yes. Okay, great. So you're here to talk to us about the Splash FM Academy, aren't you?
Okay, yes, I'm here to talk about that. The Splash FM Academy registrations are going on at the moment. and of course is a big first in the city of Ibadan, or in the entire Oyo state, for a radio station of this pedigree to actually float a training academy. So registrations are ongoing right now. You could just go register. Of course, there are different courses, and at the end of the day, there's a certificate, for basic presentation.
What are the kind of students that we're looking to have?
We're looking at students both the young and the old, from 18 upwards, people who have a flair for broadcasting, people who think that their dreams lie and talents lie in the area of broadcasting. There are various courses. There's introduction to presentation and elocution. There's programs and content development. There's also journalism. There are journalism courses. There are digital media courses, production courses, and everything.
And we're guaranteeing that these courses would make them into
amazing,
full-rounded journalists that can get jobs with any media organizations that they so.
Yeah, beyond just giving you springboarding to the world of media and journalism, it really equips participants or students, as the case may be, to have a brilliant foray in the world of broadcasting.
And I also hear that it's not just new greenhorns, those who are in the business and want to.
Yeah, amazingly so. So if you have a broadcasting career going on, you can actually be part of the training school to be better at what you do.
Absolutely. Yes. Location is
Yes, location is adjacent Splash FM White House. You'd see the signboard there, but you can come into the premises here at Splash FM to register, and you can call this particular number to make inquiries on registration: 0805 699 8676.
Maybe you should take that again a little slower.
Okay, 0805 699 8676.
All right, Keviki, thank you so much for being here to share that.
Thank you for your time, Charity.
Amazing. And that's our show this morning. Apologies for being unable to take your calls, but we'll hopefully get to do this again tomorrow when the Breakfast Gang will all be here to talk about some of these issues. My name is Charity Jerome. Enjoy your Thursday morning. Keep it locked on Splash 105.5.
We've got the city on lockdown.
Got my own city that I hold down.
We are Splash 105.